All right, Britt is back again. I was trying to be clever there, but you're back again. The Hardships of Summoning a Demon is the short film. A film from was it done in Alberta?
No, it was done in Vancouver.
For the film school?
Yeah, Vancouver Film School.
And so what film, like, so we did your other one, which I really liked a lot, Mob Family Ties. When was this film? Was this film done after Mob Family Ties?
This was filmed before. This was filmed beginning of May, like May 4th to 6th, and then Mob Family Ties was filmed in July.
In July? Okay. So yeah, so then you're right back. So kind of a horror comedy, I guess, right?
Yeah.
More
Or
horror than comedy or more comedy than horror?
I'd say more comedy. It's like horror comedy coming of age.
Yeah. And where did you get, so basically it's about a guy who's trying to get his his crush to like him, and then so he summons a demon.
Yeah.
That's sort of the plot line, I guess, right?
Yeah. Main basic idea, yeah.
Is it from a real life story of your past?
So this is so how the yeah, how it came to be was for one of our classes at school near the beginning, we had to come up with two or three story ideas, and I had like two. So I was searching for that last one, and I was just looking for inspiration. And what inspired me was like the class we would like go out on weekends and to bars and whatever. And then when it was time to go home, everyone was telling me that that I should get an Uber, but I insisted on walking home. I always insisted on walking home, whatever. But then I was just kind of joking. I'm like what are they worried gonna have me? Like I get kidnapped for a sacrifice or something? Is what I thought. And then I was like, wait a second, that might be a decent idea. So actually at first I thought of a real drunk guy getting kidnapped for a sacrifice. And as I went on, and originally I thought of the sacrifice being the main character, but then I thought and he of course through his drunken antics would sabotage the satanic guy's ritual. But then I thought, why would a guy doing a satanic ritual kidnap a drunk guy if it would go this wrong? Like, have they not done this before? And then I thought, what if it was someone's first time trying to summon a demon? And then why would someone try to get into demon summoning? So then I realized that the demon summoner is actually a more interesting main character. So I switched it to that, and then it just went on from there.
Well, because from an emotional standpoint, we kind of relate to. I think we've all had crushes from the human standpoint, or especially when you're a teenage and you kind of like both sexes, both whatever whatever your crush is on, and so and kind of pining after that person that you can't have, or you're too shy to get, or too scared to talk to, or whatever it is. I think we can relate to that from an emotional level.
Yeah. So like at first I just thought, yeah, why would someone try to summon a demon for the first time? And like I'm pretty sure it was the first thing I thought of, like to get a crush or a girl. I thought that was a funny idea. And yeah, I would say that yeah, definitely I'd relate to that. So I thought I could tell that story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did you have a girl that you had a crush on in high school?
I feel like there was, there was yeah, there's probably like I didn't kind of like what happens in the movie message of it is he's trying to do all these roundabout ways to get to them or coming up with plots to get to them, but really it doesn't really work out, and he would have been, I realized it would have been better off just being normal and talking to them.
Yeah,
So
honest
yeah.
is the best policy, right? So scheming, he's scheming to get to talk to her, right? So,
Yeah, and so that's kind of the arc I tried to to show in the film.
and so then tell me, so talk to me about your cast. So you have the main guy, right? Stan, is it Stan?
Yeah, that's his name.
And then Tara,
Yes, Stan, Tara, the drunk guy's name is Caden, and then the demon.
the demon, yeah. So tell me about getting those four cast members.
Yeah, so yeah, I love this cast. I love them as actors and as people. They're all really cool. So like just like Mob Family Ties, basically how everyone does it at Vancouver Film School is just posting on Vancouver's acting guide. And so yeah, and then so Stan, there was it was interesting because there was a few good stands for sure, but they were all so different and not quite what I imagined, which isn't a bad thing, but just so then I kind of had to see which one's portrayal I think would fit the best with what I've written. And Ethan, he took my what's it called? Or my suggestions. He took that all really well. And we just kind of clicked in our first audition. So yeah, I got him. And of course, and then I had him again in Mob Family Ties. So I really like working with him.
Yeah.
And so Tara kind of interesting. Actually, we we actually casted someone else initially, and we even had a few yeah, I had like two rehearsals with her and Ethan, and they yeah, and she had it, she was good. And then about a week and a half before the shoot, she had to drop out because she got like a she got a paying gig for like a commercial, which like can't blame her for that. And then so then I yeah thought of who else, and I liked Maddie. I also just clicked with her in the audition, so she was like the first one I thought of. And there was a lot of Tara auditions.
Yeah, it
Like
happens, right?
yeah, way more.
Young girl in her late teens, early 20s, white person. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of auditions.
Yeah, there was a lot. I even like I had a hard time even picking. I had to make a chart of like all like the qualities that I wanted Tara to have, and to like kind of who was the highest scoring. That sounds weird, but it just had to, just to make the decision. But yeah, and then I also thought Maddie was the most similar to the one we had before. So I thought she would fit in base with for the other cast for the rehearsals we've done.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of funny is Maddie and the girl we had before, they're actually friends and they've like done short films together. And even just recently, the girl before, her name's Cassandra. She and Ethan just did a movie together. So so yeah, they're all connected, they're all friends. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then yeah, and then there wasn't many of the Caden the drunk guy auditions. There was just a couple, but there was some others that could do drunk well, but they didn't feel and and if Jimmy's listening, I mean this in the best way, but the other guys they weren't goofy enough. I felt like or Jimmy had the right amount of goofiness that he could do the more lighthearted drunk guy. That's hard to
Lighthearted
hate.
drunk guy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, totally. Yeah, because they're all kind of like, like it's so different from your other film, right? Where like, Mob Family Ties, where like there's this kind of like fantasy world where, but then at the same time, there's like a little bit of a darkness with this family, right? Like it's funny, but it's like a little bit of dark. And this is a
Yeah.
horror film, but it's kind of zany. It's like a zany comedy, right? Like it's these are I always find these like these films the hardest to pull off. And a lot because from I see a lot of shorts and they don't really work because they're too zany, if that makes any sense. Like
Yeah.
they're like they don't really there's got to be a realm of reality in the zaniness, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying. See, it's gotta be somewhat grounded, otherwise it's just I don't know, not relatable, too
We
out
just don't
there.
care as an
Yeah.
audience, right? Like we just stop
Yeah.
caring, right?
Hmm. Yeah. All right, but then yeah, Matthias, the demon, I actually met him before when I was ADing a different project. He auditioned. He didn't
Yeah.
get it. But then there was another project that I first AC'd he was on, and he
Okay.
was good then. And then he auditioned for this, and I wasn't sure because he was good in the other thing we did, but I didn't quite see him as the demon. But then his first self tape he sent in just like absolutely nailed it and had me like I was trying not to crack up like in the audition and everything, and like instantly I was like, oh yeah, he's got it. And then I even worked. What was fun? I worked then on another. Our class really liked him. Another project with him where he was the lead actor, and I even got the chance to act opposite of him. And then
Yeah.
I made him break during a take, so I thought, oh, that was kind of funny because he made me laugh the whole way through filming this.
Yeah. So then, in terms of like, did you shoot a lot? Like, did you do a lot of coverage? Because there's like different actors. There's like a lot of movements.
Yeah, the thing we no, we had bare bones coverage. We did not have a lot at all.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
but it did all good. But all guys, I guess, where did you shoot it? Like, was someone's apartment building?
It
Someone.
was in it was in well, it was in two spots. It was in initially it was in North Van in a guy's garage, and then like the house segments. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember the area, but yeah, it was in Vancouver, not downtown. But yeah, it was like an apartment.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's something about that actor that you had for the Mod Family Ties. He's likable.
Yeah, that's what I thought because
Yeah,
with Kasim because yeah because like his scheme he's talking about killing a guy, but you want to like him and sympathize with his situation, and I felt like he had
yeah.
that quality.
He's got that 12-year-old face, I guess.
Yeah, and yeah, that was another reason. I knew I wanted someone to look young.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, yeah, so it's like so then this was like there was all the crew members were from Toronto from Vancouver Film School.
Yeah, they're all classmates except our the sound well the sound guy was from Vancouver Film School, but in the sound course, so he wasn't
No.
with us. And
Yeah.
then our hair and makeup, they or yeah, well, they were I think they were a former graduate, but yeah, we brought them on. And then also we had a composer, like that's original music in there, except for like the rock song at the end. And he just like saw it. I don't remember if the producer put an ad out or if he saw our Instagram and contacted us. I think it was that. I think he contacted us, and so yeah, but besides that, everyone else in the school, yeah.
And so like it seemed do you miss like this do you miss like the companionship you had at school and like kind of like putting out films like you do and working on other people's films and working on your own films?
Oh, absolutely. I miss it like every day.
Yeah,
I would call it was I would call it the best year of my life so far.
it
So yeah,
seems like it, even the way you talk about it. You ever tried to recreate that? Was that
I
like within your community?
I've looked a little. I haven't quite found it, but as of now, like I think I mentioned this in the last interview, but like I am working on another script that I would plan to go to Vancouver to and
Yeah,
shoot like with a lot of the same people, same
yeah.
producer and set people, a lot of them.
But it seems like you missed like the like just talking about film, talking about life, and just basically kind of like hanging out, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, it was fun because basically, yeah, just hanging out and just making talk about movies, just everyone had something in common. And I liked when everyone was working on these shorts and we would all like bounce off each other. And like a lot of my ideas like came from other classmates. And yeah, just being surrounded by like-minded people, yeah, was always good.
And then, so then did a lot of people stick in Vancouver? Everybody, a lot of people stay in Vancouver after school.
Yeah, a decent amount of them. A lot of them were from there already, and then
Yeah,
a lot of them did stay. But yeah, there was quite a few people from Toronto as well. I went and visited a few of them in March. But yeah,
gotcha. So your plan is just to write a screenplay and make something bigger, I guess.
yeah, the one I got, it's still a short, but it's a longer short,
Yeah.
and it would yeah, I'm not even 100% sure if we can do it yet, but it would kind of be like a decently sized set. It would mostly just take place in, I don't know, I have some maybe two ambitious ideas for the sets, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Trying to, yeah, go a little bigger, a little bit at a time.
Yeah. But you want to make feature films, I guess, right?
Yeah, eventually. But yeah, I feel like you got to get a few more shorts under my belt first.
Yeah. What about like the community that you're in now? What about like I just was talking to somebody about Like the about Cal, like you're in Calgary, right? Or like the area?
Yeah, Calgary area.
Yeah. There's like there's a pretty good like contingent of like up and coming filmmakers there. Have you found that or no?
No, I haven't quite found. I just know about like the actual like industry itself, which I applied to like the IATSE and Directors Guild unions and like as a permittee, and I waited for quite a while to like for them to get a call, but it just never happened. So
Did
yeah, I
you
actually
did you
like I
call
got a
them?
pardon?
Did you call them?
No, and on the I think on IATSE it says don't call us, but I tried emailing some of the like sets, some of the production managers. But yeah, no, it didn't quite happen. I guess it's still a little slow this year from because of the strikes last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I don't know. I don't know about this year, but hopefully next year. But yeah, like the more independent younger people group, I haven't found that. I've like tried to search things, but haven't come across anything.
Yeah, usually you have to get an introduction. Like you have to know someone to introduce you to the world, right? So like it's a nepotism. There's a lot of nepotism in the industry, right? So I think
Yeah.
it's fair for me to say that. And you have to like usually someone can someone can endorse you, I guess, right? To get into the do get like you have to get letters. That's how it works for the DGC,
Mm.
where you get letters like you have to get like 3 letters from people who are DGC members, and they have to endorse you to get the permit. Does that
Oh,
make sense?
nice. Yeah, that's something I hadn't heard of before.
Yeah, that's how it is in Toronto. So I'm assuming it's the
Oh,
same way in Calgary, where
well,
like
like I did get the permittee
yeah.
form and all that. I had to like have two references, and I did. But
Okay,
yeah,
there
like I
you
got
go.
the permittee form. Yeah, I got the permittee form, but just like you're there when you're the permittee, you're like the bottom of the totem pole, the last person they call if no one else is or if
Yeah,
everyone
you're at the
else is
bottom of the
busy.
list. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just hasn't been busy enough to trickle down, I guess.
Gotcha. Oh, I see where you're coming from. So basically,
Yeah.
you're looking. So basically, they have a few shows going on, right? So they'll,
Yeah.
yeah,
But like right now, I'm still working on writing that next one, and so because I don't think I will uh be on like sets here this year, but so I'm hoping I can get this in the meantime, get my next short film filmed, and then I can hopefully make the jump onto working on set.
gotcha. Because it seems like you like working. Do you like sets? Like you like the long hours. You like kind of like the kind of seeing how it all kind of forms together. I guess, right? Working on
Oh yeah, so,
sets.
sorry, you cut out for
Yeah,
or you cut out for a
I
second.
was gonna say you seem to like working on sets. Like you seem to like that kind of that vibe, that the long hours too.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I love being on set. It's so fun
It's so
and
fun.
stressful,
Yeah,
but
because not a lot of people don't, right? Because it's tedious and it gets long, right? So
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I feel obligated. I kind of have to tell if we're talking about this movie, I feel like I have to tell kind of the story of the production. If
yeah,
you're
tell it.
yeah, if you're ready to
Yeah, go
switch
ahead.
topics. Like, um so um so we were started on a Friday. It was supposed to be Friday, Saturdays, Sunday. And one thing we none of us were really prepared for. We thought we were, but we were not. But just so actually, the whole movie was supposed to take place in that garage area. Because in the movie, they go to like the living room and they
Yeah,
enter through that door. The whole movie was supposed to take place in that garage, and that's where we were shooting in North Van in this guy's garage, and but yeah, it was a small space, and we weren't prepared for how much time that actually took in a small space with all those people. It took a long time, and we didn't get our first shot the first day until 2 p.m., and we were there at like 7. So that we started. That's why we didn't have a lot of coverage because like just yeah, they're just running out of time. And we had a plan for rigging lights with a bunch of like C-stands arms because we wanted lights above because on the ground there's not enough room for the frame. Pretty much in the movie, every frame there is a light right outside of frame.
That's cool.
So
Okay.
yeah, so we tried to, yeah, a bunch of C-stand arms like kind of hang from the roof, but it was way too sketchy. So the DOP had to improvise and he found a solution. But yeah, so yeah, late shooting on that day. And then that outside scene, we are shooting at the end of the day, and we were really running low on time for like the local or the area, like how late you're allowed to shoot in the area. And even we were like pushing it, and at one point we heard cop sirens in the distance, and we were all this was the first shoot out of the whole school year where we were out on our own without any teachers, so everyone was a little nervous. And when we heard the cop sirens, we like, oh, cut, oh, they're coming for us. But no, that didn't happen. So we only there was supposed to be like 4 shots in that scene, but we only there was only 2 in the final product, and we made it like a oneer. Um, but yeah, so then there's that, and then second day was better, a little slow, but then at the end of the day, once we were wrapping up, the homeowner came downstairs to us, and he was wasted. He was wasted, and he was being very problematic, and he kind of started yelling at some of us. It was really weird because he yelled at some people, then he went in another room and he was like, "Yeah, guys, make the best movie you can." And people told me they yelled at them. I didn't believe it, but then someone had videos, so I saw it. And like absolutely wasted. He like took a leak in his backyard in front of all of us, and it really started to escalate. And my producer is trying to talk him down, and the behind the scenes camera photo guy, he's the producer's boyfriend, and like the homeowner, he like shoved him, and it was getting out of control. Even like he even made like some racist comments to crew members. Just not a good scene. And we weren't sure what to do because we did not have nearly enough of the movie shot to be completed at all. So then we figured we can't really shoot here anymore because he didn't kick us out, but we were just not a good place to be in. We have a lot of expensive gear in the garage, and we just don't trust him. And no one's gonna want to come back tomorrow to shoot. And she called our producer, called our teachers, and they said, "Yeah, get out of there." So we unloaded everything, put it back in the U-Haul, and we had to come with a new plan. And at this point, I thought the movie was done. I thought we were not making this. And I was just like, of course, this happens to my movie, is what I was thinking. But then my producer, Jimena, her name is, she's wonderful. Best producer. And but it was like midnight, and she's like, "Hey, I got us a place for us to shoot tomorrow." But the thing is, there's no garage. And then I didn't know. I was like, well, how is this gonna work? I had no idea. And but then or whatever, we'll sleep on it. We're gonna have a late crew call. We'll have the crew come in at noon. Us keys, me, the DOP, the AD, and the producer will come in at 9, figure out a new plan. And so but then as we were driving home, I slowly started to think of a solution. If there's like a closet door or something, we can make them like enter in and out and have all these gags we had planned in a different room. So then that's what we did. I say I kind of rewrote, and I tried to sleep but I couldn't, and I like rewrote some of the script in the middle of the night. And then we got there at 9, and then me and the DOP, we came up with a completely new shot list, which was crazy because we'd been planning this for like 2 months, but then we had to just come up with it, wing a new shot list in like 3 hours for the crew. But then that day went good, and then we barely got everything just enough to make it work. We weren't sure how it was going to make it work, but we figured that out in the edit. And there's even one scene you could maybe, if I tell you this, you could probably figure out what scene. But there's even a scene where 2 characters are talking to each other when they're in the garage, but
Hmm.
one of the reverse shots is in a completely different house in a completely different room. And so yeah, and then we got it. We so we started late at 12, so we finished shooting at 12. That was allowed in that area. So so yeah, it was pretty crazy. And it was the most stressful 3 days of my life, but I still loved it, and definitely upped my tolerance for stress probably by like 3 times.
Yeah, but you did it though. Like it's like you that's the art of a good filmmaker is that you have to like you prepare, then sometimes you just have to throw it away and then kind of wing it. But like it seems like you knew the story, so you kind of you knew the tone and you had to like you so you can figure it out. You and your DP can figure out where to go, right? So
Yeah, yeah, and
it's a good experience. It's a good that you had. Like you learned a lot from it.
yeah, no, yeah, definitely. Because even afterwards, like we were on other after when other people's movies were going on, they were stressing like, oh my God, it's the first day and it's 11 a.m. We haven't got a shot yet. But I
Yeah.
was like, I was telling them, like, don't sweat, it's good. So I feel like that was a good experience for me because that's definitely what doesn't kill you makes you stronger type situation.
Did you find that people had the same enthusiasm that you do, like in school, or different levels of enthusiasm? Like,
I'd say, yeah, I'd say for the most part, there was probably like some students who, like, I've been wanting to do this since I was like 12, so like I was passionate. But I think there was some kids who were like, I don't know, I just thought this would be cool, and maybe they weren't into it as much. But like most of the people that got to write and direct, I would say were just as passionate. Um, I think it was known there was probably like only 4 or 5 of us out of the class of 40 who had actually had like a very in-depth catalog of movies that they'd seen. So, and I think people knew that I watch more
did
than a lot of
everybody
them.
get the right? Did everybody get to direct a film or no?
Everyone got a direct at least one at the beginning of the year. It was just like a 3-page script shot in 6 hours. Everyone got a chance to do that. But then later on, no, there was like 6 stories that the teachers picked the directors for. That wasn't written by them. It was written by the writing uh course
Gotcha.
kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then yeah, 6 kids chosen to direct that. And then this one, the demon one, then there was 6 voted on, written and directed by the class, and then the class voted for which stories got picked. And then the mob one, which is where you could write, and then the teachers picked. Is how it worked.
gotcha. So you got they saw your what I'm trying to say is that they saw your kind of enthusiasm and your talent that you got to do a lot of stuff that perhaps others didn't get the same experience, right?
Yeah, I think they did see my enthusiasm because we had to like do the pitch in front of the class. I think people were telling me afterwards that yeah, they were excited to do it. And I think I got them excited because I don't know, that's kind of what I wanted to show my excitement for the project because I figured that would I don't know, infect them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You can see it. You can see that you love film. So that's you can see it, there's something contagious about your enthusiasm.
Thank you. Yeah.
Did we talk about in the last podcast about like your we would go going a little bit longer, but I just wanted to about the film that you watched the most times in your life. Did we talk about that?
I don't think we did, no.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't think so either. So what did you put down on the blog interview?
I put Batman 89 and Billy Madison.
Okay. So, but you're like that's those are older movies for you though. You're kind of like you weren't born in '89, were you?
No, that 2002. It
And Billy Madison was what, early '90s?
was like 95, something like that.
Was it '95? And so basically, so then what? How did you get hooked to those older movies, so to speak? Yeah, you're right,
Well,
'95.
yeah, well, Batman 89, that was one just because I liked superheroes as a kid. That was just one parents had on VHS, so I just watched because I loved Batman. And and then Billy Madison, again, also on VHS. I just found it. Me and my cousin watched all of the movies at my grandma's house, like all the cartoons, whatever. And like, let's find something new. And then we found Billy Madison. That looks funny. And then so yeah, we watched it a lot when we first found it. And I still watch it every once in a while. But now I watch like I try to watch like all movies. I watch a lot of old movies, like way older than that. Like because I found I watched most of the stuff that I like from more modern era. So like I found like I wanted to explore more. So like I don't discriminate against any genre or time period.
Gotcha. And then so what would so then those are those for like kind of almost logistical reasons. I'll tell you what, I'm old enough to be at a certain age where I saw Batman 89 in the movie theater. So I remember that because it was like there was like no superhero movies except for like Superman, which is like 1977. There's like a couple sequels, but the last one. So there's like this huge decade of no superhero. Imagine, imagine this world, right?
Yeah.
There's no superhero movie. And then that one was like kind of a gutsy movie, right? Where like, Michael Keaton was a comedic actor, and there was like he was like, why do they get this guy to play Batman? People were mad. This is before the internet too, right? So people were just
Yeah.
talking to each other on the street.
Yeah. Writing letters.
And yeah, so basically, so that it's sort of like that makes sense. That's interesting that, but now that movie's like pales in comparison to the movies now, right? Like in terms of the special
Yeah,
effects, like the pace, I guess too, right? So
like you look at like Batman v Superman, like that action scene with Ben Affleck is pretty crazy, but then like Batman 89 is just so stiff.
yeah, it's about
And
the
just
Joker, right? It's about Jack Nicholson,
yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
what would be your favorite movies if you can pick three movies? What would be your favorite movies?
I would say probably Inglorious Bastards because I'm definitely a huge Tarantino guy. So yeah, love. I could name a few of his. Honestly, that could probably fit in the top three. But yeah, Inglorious Bastards, that one. Every time I watch it, I'm just like, wow, why can't every movie feel like that? But that one, and I'd say The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That that one, I just every time I watch it, I just get absolutely hooked in a trance and it's like 3 hours. Um, but yeah, no, I love that, and I love westerns. I know probably from being in cowboy land, like we said. And the third, I know I could say Terminator 2 or Fight Club maybe, but I'll say Dazed and Confused just for
Okay.
variety. That one, and that one I guess this might be a thing of getting older, but I just like it more every time I watch it because I know the first time I watched it, I was like a grade 9, and I watched it. I'm like, oh, that looks fun. I hope high school ends up like this for me. And then later on, I watched it, and after high school, I'm like, oh yeah, those were good times. And then I only appreciate those times more now. So yeah, that movie always hits every time I watch it.
And then it's funny because that's the only one that's in the aughts is Inglorious Bastards. So you still like the older movies.
Yeah, yeah. Even like really, I have a bunch of like I have a list of like movies that I have access to, like ones I've recorded on TV and stuff, and most of them are older, 2000s and before. Past year, I'd say I've watched a lot of 70s stuff. That's kind of what I watch most often now.
Yeah, 70s. Well, it's a good era for film, right? So
And I like the gritty crime stuff. Even though it's weird because like I always do comedies, but probably my favorite actual genre to watch is like gritty crime movies. And
did
they
you
have a
watch
lot of them.
Taxi Driver,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
French Connection?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever
Classic.
see the movie The Conversation yet?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen
Okay, so
that.
you're all over it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love all those. I love the grunginess of the film and just people smoking everywhere. It's awesome.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, got like Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I should go watch that movie again. I remember watching it for the first time. It was fantastic. So I think I've only seen it once, but it was great.
Oh yeah, no, you definitely gotta watch it again.
All right. Well, congratulations, and we'll do a trilogy podcast when you make your third film or you make your next film.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Love to.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.